Okay, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a hump day. Wait, I can't see it. Hump day edition of Morning Scone, presented by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, Parrish Construction and Roofing. You need orthopedics, go to Brock. You need a roof, you call Parrish. Unique Physique, uniquephysique.com, Restored Motions, restoredmotions.com, On Fire Athletes, platform powered by Gabe Coin. All right, y'all. LSU baseball gets a win. I'm a little dressed down today. I'm going to see Crystal again this morning. So saw her Monday. She's going to be upright again. Go see her again today. Hopefully get me even closer to better. I am not good, but I am better. Better than I was Monday. Probably about the same as I was yesterday. So let's see if we can propel that. All right, y'all. LSU baseball beats Louisiana Tech 12-3. I think I want to see what everybody wanted to see, which is mostly the pitchers go out there with strikes, which by and large they did. Jacob Myers faced 3 hitters, walked 2 of them. Dalton Beck came in and walked a couple of hitters. Cooper Williams walked a couple of hitters. William Schmidt only walked 1, and it was the last hitter he faced. It was probably, I would assume, I didn't hear Jay Johnson's postgame comments, but I would assume it was a situation where he was going out for the 3rd, and he would face as many until he allowed a base runner. So, and so he got 2 outs quickly, then walked a guy. So they hooked him, and they brought in Cooper Williams for a lefty-lefty matchup against Sebastian Mexico, who's our cleanup hitter. So, all things considered, I think pretty good night. Your bats were efficient. You scored 12 runs on 9 hits. Fry was 3 for 4, triple shy of the cycle. He homered, as did Jared Jones. So he got a 4 spot in the first inning, got up early, never trailed. So a lot to like about the game. It's interesting. We didn't see Jaden Newt. That was one of the things we were wondering. He did get up at one point in the bullpen and was getting loose, but never came in. And I think it's a pretty clear indicator, right, that he's proven he can be a strike thrower. He came and got the final 6 outs on Saturday against Mississippi State. They'll use him in a reliever role this weekend against State. So again, we always talk about seasons of 56 game evolution. We weren't talking about Jaden Newt the opening weekend of the season. Not to say he wouldn't have a role, but like he was pretty far down the list of names we were talking about. So, but it's pretty clear his performance, he's been able to elevate, which is great. So Tigers will travel today, and then tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, they'll play Oklahoma in a really big series against the top 10 team, the Sooners. So see if the Tigers can go get it. Keep ratcheting up the competition a little more. Okay, let's say some good morning, y'all. Please smash that like button if you would. Subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the page, share the post. Hey, Brian Wynn, good morning. Tiger Diver, not an LSU related question. That's okay. What do you think is going on with Florida and Texas A&M baseball? Hey, Christian, good morning. Well, I don't know about Florida. Candidly, I haven't seen them play it this year. But Texas A&M is pretty obvious. I mean, you've got Prager. Ryan Prager, who's their Friday night guy, who's awesome. He just can't do it himself. And their offense has gone into the deep freeze. And it's weird. And listen, they've lost Gavin Grahovac, who was the SEC Freshman of the Year last year. Their starting third baseman hits in the middle of their lineup. That's big. I mean, imagine taking Jace Laviolette is their potential 1-1 guy in the draft, but he hasn't really hit this year either. But a lot of that could be teams pitching around him because of the lack of potency in the offense. But, they've got Caden Sorrell coming back from injury. They've still got Caden Kent there. I mean, they've got a lot of the same players. I think it's naive to ignore coaching, right? I mean, you lose Jim Schlossnagle and you promote the young popular assistant, and that's the cautionary tale here. As for Florida, I'm not really sure. I know that like they opened with Tennessee. Well, that's just unenviable, right? I mean, Tennessee is the best team in the SEC. And so they got swept by Tennessee. And then they play Georgia, who's ranked number 4 in the country. And they got swept by Georgia. They lost an 8-7 game, and then they got run ruled twice. They lost 17-2 and 15-4. Tells you pitching isn't really up to snuff. And then they lost 2 out of 3 to Ole Miss. They lost 7-5. They lost a 1-run game 10-9, and then they won 11-8. So, and it was, by the way, the second 2 games was a 9-inning doubleheader. And this week, they're at home against Vanderbilt. So it's an unrelenting beast. But I'll make this prediction: like if Florida goes and wins a series against Vanderbilt, next they get Missouri at home, and then they're at Mississippi State. So your next 2 series for Florida are really winnable. And so, like LSU a year ago that started 3-12, when they had some bumps, losing a lot of guys after the championship team. And it took them a while. In the second half of the season, they went 10-5 and made regionals. So that's doable. Then you got Arkansas, which is not easy. Then you got South Carolina, which might be the worst team in the league outside of Missouri. And then you go Texas, Alabama. So they have winnable. It could be very similar for Florida to LSU, where they have winnable series coming. Christian, Thomas, Gregory. Hey, Kelly, good morning. Christian, Texas lost another midweek to Texas State. They're going all in on the midweek games. Don't matter. They don't. I mean, I don't know any other way. I've said it for 7 years now, and I don't know any other way to say it. It's just 8 years. They don't. Like, if it mattered, you would go all in to win those midweek games, but you don't. It's the opportunity to empty your bench, to get guys mound time. That's what midweek games are for. Now, if you're Texas State, it matters tremendously because that's an RPI opportunity. But if you're playing in the SEC and you play 30 SEC games, you can literally lose every single midweek game, all of them. But if you go 20 and 10 in the conference, you're a national seed. Henry, good morning. Matt, love your content. You made some comments about Bear Jones' defense last season. He's become an elite defender at first base. He's become very good. He did get caught kind of on an in-between hop last night, but he still made the play. But yes, he's been very good at first base, no doubt, which he was not a year ago. The other point of it, though, Henry, and I'm not sure the context of the comment you're referring to. By the way, did y'all notice last weekend they put Bear Jones at third base against Texas in the Texas series in Game 3? Anyway, but probably the context of that comment, I don't know exactly what you're talking about, is the fact that and I said the same thing about Trey Morgan. Like, first base is not a premium defensive position, so you don't put premium defenders there, and it doesn't matter if you're an elite defensive first baseman. That's typically where they hide a bat, is at first base. People talk about Trey Morgan, his defensive first, and he's amazing. He was the best defensive first baseman LSU's ever had in the history of the program. I could very confidently say that. But nobody's drafting Trey Morgan with the intent of putting a great athlete at first base. That's why you've seen Trey Morgan play a lot of outfield in the minors as well. So my point in saying all that is, it doesn't, like, from a draft standpoint, it doesn't matter if Bear Jones is good at first base. The bigger thing for Bear Jones is he's proven he can hit for average. He's not just a home run hitter. Like, the fact that he's hitting 400 and hitting to all fields is way bigger for Bear Jones than his ability to play first base. Hey, Abner Neo, good morning. Hope you're feeling better. Better, yes. Good, not yet. Hopefully today after I go see Crystal again. Hey, Bubba Smith, good morning. It's going to be windy today. Thomas, Matt, I agree with you on midweek games. It sure is nice to watch LSU pound teams every Tuesday instead of losing or struggling like in previous years. I mean, they lose midweek games every year. I think it happened once or maybe twice under Maneri that they went undefeated in the midweek. I think maybe 2015 they didn't lose a midweek. But shoot, man, the national championship team with Skeens and Cruz and those guys lost midweek games. They were bad in the midweek. I think they lost like 5 midweek games that year. Hang on. Let's see. Okay, they beat Southern. Okay, they lost to ULL 8-5. They lost to Nichols 6-5. Beat Southeastern. Beat Northwestern State. Maybe it was just those two. I thought they lost more than that. Maybe it was just those two. Yeah, it was just those two. They lost those two. They lost to Nichols and ULL in the championship year. Anyway, Ethan Fry's finally becoming the player Jay always said he could be. Ethan Fry last night was a triple shy of the cycle. He was really good. He's hitting 400 now, but I'll tell you the more encouraging thing for Ethan Fry is that he's hitting 350 in conference play. You forget, like, Ethan Fry hit just fine in the midweeks last year. That's never been his problem. It's been his inability to hit SEC pitching. So he's batting 350 right now against the SEC. But, again, caveat, he's only got 20 ABs this year in league play. So you're 9 games in, he's only got 20 at-bats. What happens as that sample size grows and as the level of competition increases? Because Missouri stunk. Texas was a bigger challenge, but he batted against the lefties. And State, Pico Khan was good, but you're going to face a very different challenge tomorrow night. Get ready, Dale. Before you hit the links, here you go.
Parish Construction and Roofing. At Parish, we've got you covered. From the top of your roof, all the way down. Parish Construction and Roofing. Parish built. Parish built. Parish built. From your hometown. ParishBuilt.com.
Okay. Okay. Parish Construction and Roofing. You need an orthopedist? You go to Brock. Need a roof? Call Parish. Here we go. Official Friday. Harold Perkins will lose some of that weight, get back to his playmaking form. Wonder what position to play in the NFL. Safety. He'll probably play. I don't think he plays safety. I think he'll play the nickel Sam role he played previously in Matt House's defense. Similar to the star role that he's playing now. It's weird. It was the same thing that Isaiah Simmons had to go through. Isaiah Simmons from Clemson was, he was a freak show, and he was a first-round pick of the Cardinals, and it was just, but what is he? Is he a safety? Is he a linebacker? Where do you put him? Because he doesn't fit a traditional mold. So you got to find a spot for him. Hey, Rocky, good morning. Glad Schmidt looked better. We need him if we're going to make a deep run. I think Schmidt and Ware are the keys. So you have a righty and a lefty with great arm talent, one from each side that can give you some length. I think you need both those guys. Thanks, man. Appreciate that very much. Yeah, definitely, man. Better than Monday for sure. Monday was bad. Interesting seeing former Tigers on text team. Yeah, they had 3. By the way, hat tip, Brody Drost and Zeb Ruddle each homered in the game last night. Stung for the Tigers, but cool moment for those guys. Hey, Ben, good morning. Mr. Wallace, good morning. Curious about your back. Do you have back spasms or is it a disc issue? I have spasms about every other month. Don't have spasms. I mean, look, I've had x-rays. I've had MRIs. I've done the whole thing. And what I've been told is degenerative disc disease. And that obviously caused a lot of compression on my spine. But then I slip discs a lot. So when discs move out of place, then you compress nerves and bands and a whole bunch of other stuff, which is why Crystal's been so effective, because she effectively puts me back in place. Which is why I tell Eric all the time, if I slip a disc, I was like, don't take me to the doctor, take me to Crystal. Doctor's going to give me medicine. And that's great. And believe me, I believe in medicine. Okay. I'm not one of these, don't get no. Monday, I needed pain medicine. So yes, doc, there's absolutely, there's a place for everything. But for me, when I have episodes like that, bring me to Crystal. She'll get me upright. Hey, Charlie, good morning. Dale, JJ said goals for Guidry to be ready to go for Auburn. Okay, so he said that post game. So again, post game, I don't hear the post game interviews because I go live on Locked On as soon as we're done. So, okay. Here it is. Let's see. Whoops.
Would be the most optimistic that report. I don't know. Could not pitch this weekend. I think hopefully by Auburn we have a chance. Would be the most optimistic the report that I could give you. I don't see him pitching this weekend. There is a chance for Auburn. We tried to set a timetable for that. He's got to clear some benchmarks for that.
A lot of y'all try to say that it was something not injury related. I'm telling you, it's his back, and then I was told back and hip. He's got a back and a hip issue. Working through them both. Neil, good morning. Ethan Fry's on a tear. Our lineup is scary 1 through 9. You have productivity 1 through 9. The best LSU lineup 1 through 9 that I can remember seeing, where it was just relentless, was 2015. There were just no outs in that lineup. In 23 was comparable at times as well. This one, if you can get productivity out of Braswell, Stanfield, 8, 9, and that's 2 4-year guys, right? Batting 8th and 9th in your lineup. Then I'd agree with you. Brad, good morning. Did LSU set up McMahon for failure from the jump, not giving him resources, or didn't have the right boosters till now? Yeah, Brant, look, it's just a symptom of LSU basketball. And I don't mean to hand wave it, but it's true. First of all, LSU doesn't have the long roster of deep pocketed boosters overall. And everybody's priority is football. There are some boosters that love basketball, and that's how you raised nearly $2 million for last year's roster. But that's just not enough to be competitive. You've got to get the collective, not the Bayou traditions. I mean, the collective fan base. So everybody wanting LSU basketball to be good, to put the resources behind it. And when there's apathy, it's hard to justify. So you asked about McMahon. Did they set him up for failure? I mean, to the degree that any coach at LSU is set up for failure, where you just don't have the interest, the recruit. Like for all we talk about Louisiana being an advantage for football because of the dirt, it's a disadvantage for basketball because there's no players in the state. I mean, you're not pumping out McDonald's All-Americans in Louisiana left and right. I mean, occasionally you do, and sometimes those guys stay home. You've got the Brandon Bass, Tasman Mitchell, from time to time, Big Baby, those guys, but it's rare, man. We just don't produce the elite level basketball talent in this state like we do football. And I think that has a negative effect on the LSU basketball program because you have to go recruit nationally. And what are you selling? Hey, come play for us where nobody cares if you lose. Tiger Poppy, good morning. Robbie Lackney, good morning, Matt. R.I.P. Val Kilmer. Were you a fan of him and his movies? My favorite was Iceman and Top Gun. Yeah, I mean, Top Gun, Batman Returns, Batman Forever. Batman Forever, wasn't it? Sure, yeah. So he was 65 years old, man. Young. It was Leon Williams, good morning. By the way, it's cool of him to play Iceman and that character in Top Gun Maverick. I mean, because didn't he we had throat cancer, he had to relearn to talk and everything. So I mean, it was very humbling, I'm sure, to reprise that role and not be able to really speak and have to play it the way he did. Jason H., good morning. Guy Brooks, good morning. Happy hump day. When is LSU football back on the practice field? Next week. Haven't gotten the schedule. I think it's Tuesday. But they're off this week. So. Hey, Blaze, good morning. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Stat Matt, I'm willing to be your stat Google guy since Matthew does not have the ability to do this. Talking about Muso. Joey B19, do you think the Aggies fire the rookie head coach after 1 year? Their schedule gets harder from here. Maybe. I don't think it would be unprecedented. I mean, we saw it in football at Mississippi State where they fired Zach Arnett after one season. Sometimes you promote the popular assistant and it doesn't go well. Hey, Brian, Buzz Williams left A&M to go to Maryland. That surprised me too. I mean, I can't imagine that's a resources thing. That might be I'd rather go coach in the ACC than the loaded SEC right now. Don't know. Or maybe he wants to go to a place where they care as much about basketball as they do football, which is not the case in College Station. He's gotten to the tournament 3 straight years, and remember he's working for an AD that didn't hire him as well. Scott Woodward hired Buzz Williams at A&M, so that's part of it too, potentially. So. Hey, Glenn, good morning. Have you talked to RC lately, wondering what movie he's into now? I need to catch up with RC. We talked. It was, I think maybe the last time he and I talked was around the Sugar Bowl. I saw him at the Sugar Bowl because he was watching Jordan, his son, play for Notre Dame. Might have been the last time we've seen each other. Michael, good morning. Hey, Brent, good morning. Brad, good morning. Why do reporters quote coaches unanimously? Couldn't they just make something up to get clicks? What do you mean? Coach, is Trey Morgan playing first base some in the minors on the outfield? I don't know what he's doing this year. I mean, look, they obviously just started the season. But I believe he's starting, if I'm not mistaken, in AAA with Durham. If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure he's starting in AAA in Durham. I saw that. They don't. Maybe they haven't started yet. Maybe they haven't started the minor league season yet. You don't have any stats for 2025 yet. Let me check. Let me check and see the latest. Oh, it's 7:45. I got to get going. All right, y'all, please smash the like button if you would. Subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the page, share the post. Greg, Lash, and Larson see the field. Played last night. Got a pinch hit, got a base hit, scored a run. Daryl, if you're guessing which struggling bullpen arm comes in, contributes, will we see Guidry? So Guidry sounds like Auburn. Again, Connor Ware. Newt, I think, is the next one. They're molded, but Connor Ware and William Schmidt, I think, are the two that you really have to have. Hey, Stephen Miller, good morning. Donovan, what are your thoughts on the pitching last night? Started the show with that a little bit. I thought mostly consistent. Really, what I want to see are the guys that you feel like you're going to count on. Disappointing to see Myers and Beck go out there and each walk a couple guys. Schmidt walked one. It was the last batter he faced. So all in all, I thought from the guys you were counting on, pretty good. Hey, Spurge, good morning. Michael Guidry, good morning. I got to go. Mark, you ever used a stand-up desk? Yes, Michael, so here's the problem I have with a stand-up desk. It's this catch-22. Sitting feels good. However, after I sit, if I lock up, standing is difficult because I will lock up. Standing is difficult because while standing maybe prevents me from locking up, standing compresses my spine, and so it creates pressure, which is very hard. So I just need to stay on top. I got to go. Steven, hypothetically, if they get Guidry back for around the Auburn series, I don't see him be a real factor in the regular season. Maybe so. Steven, remember last year they were going to use Chase Shores in super regionals. If they had gotten through the Chapel Hill regional, he was going to pitch. So, man, I'd take him. I'd take him at any point. I'm like Chad Jones, man. Chad Jones in 09. Take what you can get, sort of thing. Won't get a long rant. Want to throw this out there. Matt's job was also to get out there and raise money. That's fair. I think he's done a good job of trying to pound the pavement. But ultimately, Steven, the most effective thing he can do is win. But I don't disagree with you at all. I don't disagree. Okay, 7:47. I gotta go. All right. Thanks for being here. Y'all have an awesome day. Locked on LSU's live. We'll see you for AFR at 3. Peace.